I'm going to be showing you how to sew circles and curves. In this demonstration, the circle that I'm going to show you can be utilized for bolsters and cushioning, can be used for duffel bags, or a myriad of other bucket bags. So the first thing we're going to do is take a flat circle and a flat piece of straight fabric. We're going to sink our needle, aligning the fabric and the edge of the circle. We've predetermined that we're going to have a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Holding your thread, sink your needle, then come to the front, position your hand here on the bottom, and position your hand on the circle up. You want to keep this in a straight line using your guide of 1/2 inch. From there, we're going to rotate this circle around. If you'll notice, watching the guide here and watching the edge of the fabric do not meet, but by the time they get to the pivot point in the needle, they will adjoin at a 1/2 inch. I'm slightly pulling the bottom, not too hard, and I am not easing this in. That creates puckering. So I'm rolling this around like this. Stopping and starting. To make sure you have an even seam all the way around. Come back, clip your threads. I've actually started away from the edge so that I can determine my 1/2 inch seam allowance here. Back stitch to lock it, pull it out, clip your threads, then predetermine your 1/2 inch seam allowance with the rest of your piece here. So in other words, I'm aligning it like this. I place a notch in the fabric. I come around, use that for a guide, trimming the excess. I have a 1/2 inch seam allowance now built into this. I then put it underneath the machine, hold my threads, start sewing, back stitch, locking that into place, aligning the edges, sewing, and lock stitch, back stitch. Needle bar up, pull the thread out, trim the threads, pull this back over, underneath the foot, hold the threads, sink the needle. Make sure that this seam is not folded under. You need to have a straight pull, folding your seam underneath. Remember, you're still on a curve. Holding the fabric underneath so I can push and pull it this way, aligning it. I've got gentle pull on it this way. And you've just made yourself an end to a duffel bag, a bolster, turning it inside out, running your hand around the seam, to pull it out, and you have yourself a nice circle.